So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
And so both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Hornets ahead. They finish off the first quarter on a 14-6 run. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And Nets head coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell you he's still got a good sense of humor.
I told them all, you can.
I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, and I think the net players would agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do, too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins. Just ask Darren Williams.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And let's quickly break down the game, guys. We've been watching from the Hornets.
The roof is up right now, guys. It's raining in here. A lot of threes through the first.
Hey, sometimes when it rains, it pours, and they have not let up from beyond the arc.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Setting the floor for the Nets. Jarrett Jack is out there with Shane Larkin. Then it's Bargnani. Then it's Robinson. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Now here's Lynn. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist unable to get his shot to go. The shot by Williams, no good. Here's Larkin. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Johnson outside. Picked by Bargnani. Johnson kicks to Jack. Chance there to take the lead, missing. Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a loss to Chicago.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. I mean, you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
And the hope for Jeremy Lin last season was that he'd take a step forward in his development, but it almost was the opposite in his play.
And that can happen. You don't always go a straight line north in your improvement in this league. He'd been on an upward swing as far as his shooting accuracy, but last season was the worst since his rookie year in that area.
Charlotte making some changes. Jefferson's checked in for Zeller. Big Smooth comes in for Williams. And it's Batum in for Kidd-Gilchrist. The Nets also changing it up. Lopez, he's checked in for Bargnani. Young comes in for Thomas Robinson. And Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Johnson. Now here's Lopez. And they take the lead. And the Nets lead by 1.
In talking about Lin last season, he never quite gelled with what they were doing in Los Angeles. Both he and Kobe need the ball to be effective, and I got a feeling you guys know which one of those two is going to get it.
6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Now here is Jack. From 13. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And, you know, getting back to Lin, he was actually pretty strong starting out the season. In November, he made 48% of his shots, 37% from downtown. But in April, he only hit 24% from the field and was eventually shut down for the year.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Too open that time. Made it look too easy. Batum's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Jack with it. Young, a screen on Lin. And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That is his first foul of the game. And the Hornets making a change here. Lamb's checked in. And a change for the Nets. Bellinelli's checked in. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
The first one falls. That one misses. Charlotte's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Charlotte moving it around. Lynn, that's a 2-pointer. Brooklyn with the rebound.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And that one's good. And it's 8 points here for Thaddeus Young. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
So close.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable.
Brooklyn trailing. Out to the right wing. Bellinelli dishes to Lopez. Screen by Young. Nice work there coming off the screen. 6 points for Brook Lopez.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge, Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
And for Brook Lopez, disappointing start to last season. The season before, he had played only 17 games, so he wanted to make an impact right off the bat. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, you know, he missed the first 2 games altogether with the foot injury and comes back to play pretty well, then hurts his back. Out for 8 more games, comes back again. He's benched in favor of Miles Plumlee. Just a very disjointed year for Lopez.
Robinson's checked in for Thaddeus Young.
And for Lopez, last year was the first time since he was a rookie that he didn't start every game. I mean, that is a huge shot to your confidence. I don't care who you are or what your circumstances, but you know what? At the end, he rose above it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Zeller comes in for Jefferson, and it's Kid Gilchrist in for Nicholas Batum. And then for Brooklyn, Bargnani comes in for Brook Lopez. And it's Johnson in for Hollis Jefferson. Here's Bellinelli. 11 points for him in that last game against Chicago. That's good.
You know, on the topic of Lopez last season, ugly beginning, but things got beautiful over the last 2 months. 55% shooting, nearly 20 and 10 a game. Some of the best numbers of his career.
Now here is Jack. Robinson misses.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
They get the rebound. Zeller passes to Stewart. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Big Smooth got the game tied up here for the Hornets.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop. And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
The rebound by Johnson. Passes it to Jack to the middle. Here's Bargnani. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.